We arrive at the parking area of Wat Ththà Phrom Yàn, situated on the northern side of Kolat, a secluded river island in the Bang Pakong River in Chachoengsao province. Adjacent to the parking area is a field of betel nut palms, whose fruits are traditionally chewed for their mild stimulant effects, a practice that has mostly disappeared in Thailand but remains widely observed in Myanmar, where even younger people continue the tradition. It is Sunday, and many visitors have come to this contemporary Theravada Buddhist temple, which is accessible only by boat departing from the wharf beside the parking area. After collecting return tickets for the boat, we join the queue to board. Several types of boats operate between the temple wharf and the parking area. On our trip across, we are assigned the largest vessel, a two-level ferry with a ground deck spacious enough to carry small vehicles, though the sides are fitted with seats for passengers. We opt to climb to the upper deck to take in a better, more sweeping view. The upper decks and cabin of the boat are sheltered by roofs in traditional central Thai style, each adorned with an antefix, an upright ornament at the lower edge of the roof, reminiscent of those on traditional wooden houses, and also seen on the shelters at the wharf and on other boats along the river. Kolat, which literally means shortcut island, owes its existence to the excavation of a shortcut canal, Klonglat, dug to bypass a winding section of the river. With the man-made canal on the western side and the original river course on the other side, the land became fully enclosed by water, giving rise both to the island itself and the name it bears today. This unique setting creates a quiet, gently isolated environment, where the island is framed by tranquil waterways and the serene landscape of the Bang Pakong River. Established in recent decades, the temple is notable for its secluded insular setting, a characteristic that has contributed to its reputation as a tranquil sanctuary separated from the surrounding lowland agricultural landscape. As we move further from the departure wharf, the distance gradually increasing, we watch other boats arriving behind us. Across the river, the temple wharf slowly comes into view, drawing us toward Kolat and the tranquil sanctuary that awaits on the island. We prepare to disembark, and as soon as the boat touches the temple wharf, we step ashore and make our way toward the temple. Along the quay, a long line of people waits patiently for the return boats, highlighting the steady flow of visitors to and from the island. The golden text on this white, glass-adorned wall reads, Wat Ththà Phrom Yàn Pit Chararam, 34th Provincial Dharma Practice Center of Chachoengsao. It is the full name of the temple, that honors Luang Po Pra Ratcha Phrom Yàn, also known as Luang Po Rusi Ling Dam, a revered Buddhist monk who once traveled to this area and whose teachings and practices the temple's abbot deeply admired and which inspired the temple's foundation and spiritual focus. We decide to visit the temple's main buildings later on, and first make our way toward the back of the compound. Here, the grounds open onto a large, free-form pond surrounded by a well-maintained garden filled with tropical plants, trees, and colorful flowers. The combination of water and lush greenery creates a calm, inviting atmosphere that contrasts gently with the activity around the main hall. At the far end of the pond, we see a moon bridge, a Chinese-style arched pedestrian bridge with a sweeping curve shaped as a perfect semicircle. When the still water below reflects this arc, the two halves form a complete circle, resembling a full moon, which is how the bridge gets its name. We follow the path along the edge of the pond, a quiet walkway that leads toward the kuti, the residential quarters where the monks live. A kuti is a small dwelling, traditionally simple and modest, providing each monk with a personal space for rest, study, and meditation. As we approach, the atmosphere becomes noticeably more peaceful, reflecting the contemplative life that unfolds within these humble living quarters. Each kuti also has its own little garden, arranged with plants and flower pots, decorative garden statues, small figurines, and even the occasional fountain or waterfall. These touches add color and a gentle sense of care to the serene surroundings, creating a peaceful environment that complements the monk's quiet way of life. Dom stares at a multi-tiered water fountain crafted from ceramic, its surfaces glistening as a pump system circulates water through the tiers. The gentle trickle creates a soothing sound that blends in well with the calm atmosphere around us. We continue toward an even more secluded part of the temple grounds, where workers are still putting the finishing touches on several buildings and ancillary structures whose main construction has already been completed. The area feels quieter and more unfinished, with the soft sounds of tools and movement breaking the stillness as the final details are carefully brought into place. We arrive at a large open space, a plaza aligned with some of the temple's larger, yet more modest buildings. Beyond the clock tower and the buildings at the back, work has begun on the temple's new ubosot, or ordination hall, though construction remains at the stage of completing its base. From here, we have a clear view of the moon bridge. In Chinese iconography, the circle represents heaven and symbolizes perpetuity, without beginning or end. Curved lines, as in the bridge's arch and the edge of the pond, are in feng shui believed to repel negative energies and ward off evil spirits. The plaza features several statues of deer, a reference to Mrigadava, the deer park where the Buddha delivered his first sermon. This theme continues along the balustrades encircling the pond, which are adorned with the Dhammacakka, or Buddhist wheel of law. The symbol recalls the Buddha's first sermon at Sarnath, where he set his teachings in motion. When depicted with 8 spokes, it represents the Noble Eightfold Path, the foundation of Buddhist practice. The wheel of law also embodies the ongoing cycle of cause and effect, karma, which leads to repeated rebirths, a cycle that can be broken only by attaining nirvana. As a classic mandala form, the Dhammacakka conveys inner truth radiating outward in all directions. Here, on the gable, the wheel of law is depicted behind the Buddha as he delivers his first sermon to the Panjawaki, his first 5 disciples. The image captures the moment when the Buddha set his teachings in motion, with the Dhammacakka symbolizing the eternal principles of cause and effect, the Noble Eightfold Path, and the path to liberation. Now we finally cross the moon bridge. Moon bridges are traditionally associated with Oriental-style gardens and villages along waterways, especially in China, where the design originated. Their high, steep arches were historically practical, allowing pedestrians to cross canals while still permitting small boats to pass beneath. We are now on a stretch of land nestled between two bends of the winding pond. The gentle curves of the water embrace the land on either side, creating a secluded, almost intimate space where the surrounding gardens, buildings, and greenery reflect softly on the surface of the pond. At the center of this section of the pond lies a small islet topped with a temple building. The islet is accessible via an elongated, straight bridge built on stilts, which stretches across the water, linking it to the surrounding land and providing a serene approach to the temple. Adjacent to the islet is another stretch of land featuring a spacious plaza, dotted with benches and shaded by trees. Scattered throughout the plaza are additional decorative elements, including more statues of deer. At the center stands a white stone Buddha statue in the Maravijaya pose, depicting the Buddha seated with his right hand touching the earth, representing the moment the Buddha called the earth to witness his triumph over Mara, the evil one, symbolizing victory over temptation, fear, and worldly distractions, and the attainment of enlightenment. Here, we also get our first clear view of the temple's prayer hall, known as Wihan Gao, or the Crystal Chapel. Its gleaming exterior of chrome panels, inlaid with countless glass mirrors and figures in gold, catches the light from every angle. Surrounding the building are protective Naga, mythological serpents revered in Buddhist tradition as guardians of the waters and protectors of the Buddha, symbolizing both strength and spiritual vigilance.
อยู่ไหนเนี่ยวันนี้เราอยู่ที่วัดป่าพระพุทธพรหมยานจังหวัดฉะเชิงเทราในวัดป่าหรอวันนี้อยู่ไหนครับวันนี้เราอยู่ที่วัดพระพุทธพรหมยานจังหวัดฉะเชิงเทราสวยไหมสวย
Thai Buddhist temples, or monasteries, known in Thai as Wat, derive their name from the Pali word avasa, and the Sanskrit term, avasata. A typical Wat in Thailand serves not only as a religious center but also fulfills educational functions and acts as a social and community hub. It generally includes an ubasot, or ordination hall, a wihan, or prayer hall, stupas and pavilions, and living quarters for monks. Larger temples often have additional structures such as a library for Buddhist scriptures, one or more pavilions, which may house sacred statues or relics, a drum tower, and a bell tower. Some temples, such as forest temples known as Wat Pa, might not include an ubasot. According to the most recent data from the National Office of Buddhism, there are approximately 44,195 Buddhist temples in Thailand as of March 2025. To help visitors avoid slipping on the smooth marble floors, the temple recommends wearing socks. For those who did not bring a pair, the temple provides socks for a small donation of just 20 baht. The front entrance of the Wihan also features Naga, with one positioned on each side of the doorway, each depicted with 3 heads. The Naga is a mythical serpent with the characteristics of a cobra, often depicted with multiple heads. Besides being the guardian of the Buddha and protector of the earthly waters, it also symbolizes fertility, steadfastness, wealth, and abundance, and in Khmer legend it is even regarded as the ancestor of the Khmer people. Associated closely with water, the Naga is believed to dwell in 3 realms: beneath the earth, where it guards minerals and gems, in rivers, lakes, and other bodies of water, and in the skies, where it creates rain. In the folklore of Isan, it is said that Priya Thane, the angel of the waters, commanded the Nagas to play in the celestial lake of Anodad in the mythical Himapan forest. As they splashed about, water spilled down to earth as rain, becoming the main source of life-giving water for humans. At the end of the dry season, people in Isan launch homemade rockets into the sky during the Boon Bang Farai festival to awaken the Nagas and call for the rains needed to nourish their crops. According to Buddhist folklore, the Naga held deep reverence for the Buddha and longed to become one of his disciples. But serpents, considered lowly beings, were not permitted to be ordained or even to enter temple grounds. Determined, the Naga used its magical powers to transform into human form and mingled among the disciples. One day, while listening to a sermon, it fell asleep and its disguise dissolved. When confronted, the Naga explained its wish to be near the Buddha and serve him. The Buddha, moved but bound by the rules of ordination, told the Naga that although it could not become a monk, it could instead safeguard the temple. From this story arises the tradition of placing Naga figures at temple entrances, and even today candidates for monkhood are called Nag, in honor of the mythical serpent. Naga imagery appears widely across temple architecture: serpentine balustrades along stairways, roof edges shaped like scaled bodies, and figures emerging from the mouths of Makara, a form known as Naga Makara. Offerings such as pineapples, with their scale-like texture, are also associated with the Naga. Some even say that monks and novices shave their heads to resemble the smooth, rounded head of a serpent, echoing this ancient symbol of protection and spiritual reverence. Underneath the Dhammachakra on the wall that surrounds the temple compound is a depiction of the three-headed white elephant Erawan, who corresponds to Airavata, the mythical elephant that serves as the mount of the god Indra. His name means arisen from the ocean, as he was produced during the churning of the ocean of milk. He is a symbol of the clouds and serves as the mount of Indra, the Vedic god of the heavens, weather, and war. Erawan is also regarded as one of the elephants that support the four directions of the world, representing strength, protection, and cosmic order.
ทุกท่านผู้มีจิตศรัทธาทำบุญธูปเทียนการบูชาและขอเข้ามาต่อองค์สมเด็จพระสัมมาสัมพุทธเจ้า
Whereas the interior of the ground floor features walls and pillars that shimmer with glass and gilded adornments, the highlight on the first floor of the Crystal Chapel is Pra Wisit Hep Somdit Ong Pat Tom, an 11-meter tall crowned Buddha statue, seated on a throne in a Western-style posture. Pra Wisit Hep Somdit Ong Pat Hom, the first supreme pure deity, is identified with a primordial Buddha, referred to in some sources as Somdit Pra Buddha Siki I, believed to have attained perfect enlightenment countless eons ago. Within these devotional frameworks, this figure is considered a cosmic origin of all Buddhas, a root ancestor whose veneration yields spiritual merit and protection. The emergence of this figure is primarily rooted in modern visionary and folk traditions, arising in the mid-20th century through the experiences of Luangpo Rusi Lingdam of Wat Ta Sung in Utai Thani province, who claimed to have received spiritual revelations of this primordial Buddha. These revelations inspired followers to create statues, amulets, and dedicate temple spaces for worship, establishing Somdit Ong Pat Hom as a central focus of contemporary devotional practice, even though the institutional Thai Sangha does not recognize the figure as a formal monastic rank or office. The exterior of the Vihan gleams with chrome panels and embossed silver, adorned with gold representations of both the primordial Buddha, Pra Wisit Hep Somdit Ong Pat Tom, and the historical Sakyamuni Buddha. The interplay of silver and gold reflects the enlightenment and divine presence of these sacred figures while simultaneously evoking the historical tradition of gold and silver trees offered to royalty by subjects as a gesture of loyalty and respect. Golden Kinnari, celestial beings who are half bird and half woman, are positioned along the Kranak-style eaves, supporting the multi-layered roofs of the Vihan. Their graceful, elongated forms enhance the ornate beauty of the structure and, at the same time, symbolically uphold and protect the sacred space beneath. From our elevated position on the balcony of the first floor, we enjoy a sweeping view of the entire temple compound. The white marble floor below contrasts sharply with the black clothing worn by most visitors, who are in mourning for the recent passing of Queen Sirikit. As we walk back toward the staircase, we notice the hang hong, or swan tails, the ornate antefixes adorning the roof edges. These decorative elements, shaped like the tail of a swan, sometimes take on forms reminiscent of Nagas, blending the imagery of celestial birds and protective serpents in a single elegant motif. As dawn descends, I notice the nipa palms on the other side of the wall. The nipa palm, or Nipa fruticans, is a unique mangrove species commonly found in tropical estuaries and tidal rivers. Unlike most palms, its trunk grows horizontally beneath the soil and water, with only the fronds and flower stalks rising above the surface. The leaves are long and feather-like, and the plant produces clusters of fruit known as water coconuts, whose sap can be fermented into a sweet drink or alcohol. The leaves of nipa palms are traditionally used for thatching roofs, and the young shoots and fruits are edible. Down one set of stairs and up another, we visit our next shrine, housed in a building shaped like a boat. The structure has two entrances, and the one on the left leads to a room containing a golden statue of Pra-yom, the god of the dead. The space is quiet and solemn, reflecting the deity's role in overseeing the afterlife and guiding departed souls. Also known as the Vedic god Yama, he is, besides the judge of the dead, also the guardian of the south. His name is related to the Sanskrit word Yama, which means cessation or end. He is the very powerful son of the sun god Surya. As the god of death, Yama executes the orders of Kala, the god of time, as it is time that eventually leads to death. From here, we continue to the room on the other side of the two-story, pearl-white boat named Thipwiman. From this vantage point, we can look out over the Bang Pakong River below, while the balcony-like bow features a gilded Buddha statue standing in the abaya pose, symbolizing fearlessness and protection. From here, we also have an aerial view of the adjacent Buddha statue, seated in the Maravijaya pose beneath a multi-layered royal umbrella. Inside the room, a small-scale replica of the crowned primordial Buddha, Pra-Wisit Hepsonditong Pat Tom, is displayed, offering a quiet focal point for devotion and reflection. On the walls are depictions of Thep Panam, celestial angels with their hands clasped in a wide gesture of respect, surrounded by flame-like cranic motifs shaped in the form of a lotus bud. Back outside, we walk beneath the rudder and past the Buddha statue in the Maravijaya pose. At the front of the statue, we notice a smaller figure that had escaped our view from above. It is May Prathorani, the earth goddess. She is depicted wringing water from her long hair, a symbolic act representing the washing away of obstacles and the defeat of Mara, the demon of temptation. In Buddhist tradition, the water from her hair signifies purity and the strength of the earth supporting the Buddha at the moment of his enlightenment. In this hall, some devotees kneel reverently before the Buddha statue, while others make merit by tossing small coins into bowls placed before statues of crowned Buddhas. The soft clinking of the coins blends with the quiet murmurs of prayers and chants, creating an atmosphere of devotion and reflection. Our visit nearly comes to an end as we make our way back to the wharf for the return boat trip. Along the path, we pass one of two similar buildings, each crowned with 4 Buddha statues seated in the Maravijaya pose, each beneath its own traditional central Thai-style roof. The arrangement adds a serene symmetry to the temple grounds, a final reminder of the sacred artistry that permeates the compound. The Bang Pakong is a major river in eastern Thailand. It begins at the confluence of the Nakhon Nayok River and the Prajinburi River at Bang Ten. Stretching approximately 230 kilometers, the river winds through a varied landscape before reaching its estuary, which is home to dolphins, including the rare Irrawaddy dolphin. Whilst waiting for our boat to return to shore, we notice spotted archerfish among the floating water hyacinth leaves. These remarkable fishes are famous for their ability to shoot a jet of water from their mouths with extraordinary accuracy, knocking insects and other prey from overhanging vegetation. The unsuspecting prey tumbles into the water, where it is immediately eaten. The water stream can reach around 1.5 meters or more, and archerfish have also been observed leaping from the water to snatch prey directly from nearby plants. Further downstream, in Bangau, the river temporarily splits, forming an island that is home to the Buddhist temple Wat Saman Ratanara. Along its course, the river feeds a hydroelectric power plant before flowing into the Gulf of Thailand at the northeastern tip of the Bay of Bangkok, just south of the city of Chachoengsao. With many of the visitors already gone, we can now enjoy the scenery and stillness, taking in the tranquil environment. We notice that the building shaped like a boat at the entrance is different from the shrine we visited earlier. It is, in fact, a coffee shop, blending functionality with the temple's distinctive architectural style. Our return trip boat is now arriving, and soon we will be able to board. This time, it is a smaller vessel with a traditional roof, and we are first in line to get on. As it sets off, we glide along the river, gaining a better perspective of the 4 rooftop Buddhas from a distance, each serene figure, now like ourselves, beneath its own traditional roof.